And incredible to see how people are dealing with the recovery. And here's the thing, there is another hurricane in the Atlantic. It is causing a great deal of concern, especially along the east coast of the United States. Our meteorologist Derek Van Dam tracking Hurricane Jose. Derek.
Yeah, even more specifically across the Carolinas and into the southeastern New England coastline. That's the areas that really need to pay close attention to the storm, because where it heads from here is so very critical, as was Irma, as was Harvey. Now we talk about Jose. So here's the details. We've got a Category 1 Atlantic hurricane churning right now just to the south of Bermuda. 80-mile-per-hour winds. This is the latest from the National Hurricane Center, moving northwest at 9 miles per hour. And by the way, gusts have gone up within the past few hours to 100 miles per hour. Again, located 500 miles southwest of Bermuda. That's equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane. So I want you to see the projected path. This is from the National Hurricane Center, latest 5 a.m. update. And there are two things I want you to see about this. Some minor strengthening anticipated within the next 24 hours, perhaps bumping the winds up to about 85 sustained. But I also want you to notice that the cone of uncertainty that we talk about oh so much, that actually has that path potentially impacting the southeastern New England coastline. Again, we're talking about Long Island and into the Cape Cod region. There are a lot of variables at play, as always, when we talk about hurricanes, so let's get right to it. Here's the latest satellite imagery. You can see a little bit of shear starting to impact the storm system. According to the National Hurricane Center, that is preventing any major intensification at this moment in time. There's still some variable spread between the models that we look at. Here's the global model. This takes a nearly landfalling hurricane into Cape Cod, but the European model keeps it well offshore. Where they start to converge, that is the important question. Water temperatures over the next 24 hours, warm enough to favor strengthening, but once it starts to move closer and closer to the New England shoreline, then we have cold water temperatures, so we start to see the storm start to kind of break apart in a sense, but it also spreads out and becomes very large over time. That's what the models indicate. So we do believe the outer edges of the rain bands could impact perhaps the Cape Hatteras region, perhaps into the Outer Banks, and again, by the middle of next week, perhaps into the New England coastline. One thing's for sure, National Hurricane Center, in coordination with the National Weather Service, they are contemplating issuing tropical storm watches across the Carolinas, and we will have dangerous riptide currents to deal with all weekend long across the popular beach spots along the East Coast. And if matters aren't worse enough, we've got a few tropical waves developing off the coast of Africa that we need to monitor quickly. George, we have a 90% development from this particular system just east of the Leeward Islands that will likely turn into a tropical storm within the next 24 hours. George.
Derek, I almost want to pretend I didn't see that last part of your segment. More storms coming.
I know.
Thank you so much. We'll, of course, stay in touch with you and continue to track it.